If you're playing Persona like a planner app, you're missing the entire point of growing up. No one has a perfect childhood where they make friends with everyone and their social life is incredible. And I don't think Persona wants us to live a perfect social life, or at least it doesn't expect us to. This might be a self-report, but I've never come close to maxing out every social link in a Persona game. I'm always really behind on a few. This led me to making a video last year blaming what I thought was the culprit, the social stats and how the games pad themselves with arbitrary grinding and causing me to miss content. The response to that video told me that I was just bad at time management and that maxing all the ranks was easy, though those commenters may have just been FromSoft get-gooders. But regardless, I took on board their advice, and when Metaphor ReFantazio came around, I promised myself that if a social link hadn't hooked me in the first 4 installments, I'd drop it and refocus my efforts elsewhere. This playstyle opened my eyes to the fact that I might have been looking at these games from a perfectionist angle, and that abandoning lackluster social links was the way to play. So with that in mind, I replayed Persona 3 Reload to prepare for the Answer DLC, and now I feel like I view the social sim elements in a whole new light. Like I said before, no one lives a perfect social life, where they make lots of friends and remain friends with them throughout their lives or even adolescence. At 22, I've lost contact with nearly every friend I had at school, not even because we fought, we just drifted apart and stopped hanging out. Our interests and goals in life just became too dissimilar, and without even saying goodbye, we just stopped texting each other to hang out. Losing a friendship doesn't have to be because of a big dramatic fight where you become enemies. Two people can just decide to stop hanging out because they don't align with each other anymore. In the same way, it's totally realistic that a Persona social link can just be abandoned, and that character resigns themselves to their fate without the wordless protagonist guiding them through their strife. A big part of growing up is learning to grow apart from people, and that's something Persona doesn't explicitly try and teach you, but subliminally, I think the message is there. Persona is a franchise where you make meaningful decisions about who to spend your time with and how you choose to live your life. So why do we assume that we have to spend time with everyone when it's a game where we control our entire lives? That assumption of thinking you had to be perfect is something Persona actively fights against. Like I said in my video complaining about social stats a year ago, the social stats are just pointless grinding to make the game longer, and while they are pointless grinding, it's not to make the game longer, it's to make it harder. Why else would the game fight against you wanting to see all of the content that the game has to offer, especially narrative content, because the game doesn't expect you to successfully solve everyone's problems. It doesn't want you to sleep throughout the whole year, but it definitely doesn't want you to max out every social link, otherwise it would be easy. But in my first playthrough of all of the Persona and Metaphor games, I haven't been able to max everyone out. And maybe this entire video is me trying to justify my bad time management skills to myself, but I find it hard to believe that I'm bad at time management when I upload a video every 2 days. But I really think Persona is hiding some subtle lessons beneath its mask, and truly doesn't expect or want you to live the perfect social life where everyone ends up happy. I've always wondered what the point of the bad endings in Persona were. They're so clearly not canon and rob you of the finale the whole game has been building towards. But I think the reason these endings exist are because they give you the option to live a bad life where you mess everything up. After all, if these endings were meant to be fanfiction, then there should be some prompt asking you to go back to where you made the wrong choice to see the right ending. But instead, you have to manually reload a save, just like you would if you got the bad ending in a game like Skyrim. To the developers, these bad endings are a valid way for the player to end the game, as they make no effort to make you reconsider your choice. So if the game is okay with you messing up the main narrative to such an absurd degree, then why would it expect you to do the optional narrative perfectly? I think we forget this point with how muddled this term has become in the modern age, but Persona is a role-playing game, and we get to choose the role we play, so why do we think the game expects us to be perfect? We certainly want to be, and will be rewarded if we do play the game perfectly, but that's not playing a role anymore. That's following a script of being the perfect character that's totally altruistic. We are naturally going to like some social links more than others, and we're naturally going to hate some social links, so why should we put the same amount of effort into all of them? There's something deeply wrong with a protagonist that has time for everyone, but emotion for no one. For more Persona videos, Here's one about Persona 3's connection to Greek mythology, and I'll be back in 2 days.